Quartering.
Finally, we are back talking about the quartering, and some pretty good shit has been happening when he came back to Twitter after his long Twitter break. That was just only like 3 weeks, that's it, or like 18 days. But yeah, his massive Twitter break. Now he's back and he's been coping about his failing coffee company and attempting to be friends with Mr. Medicare. But first of all, before we even get to this content, you need to subscribe. We need to get bigger numbers, okay? My channel needs more numbers, and we need to recover from what YouTube did to me, ripping out my legs, ripping out my arms, doing all this fucking shit, okay? So, subscribe first, okay? Follow the Twitter over here, okay? Here's the handle if you want to follow. And now let's get back to the content, okay? And first of all, some of you guys may be saying, okay, who is the Quartering? And to give you a summarization on who this guy is, the Quartering is a 2 million sub channel, and he primarily makes anti-woke content, saying that the woke is going after my company, the woke left is going after me, and shit like that. He's also been grifting off of Charlie Kirk, grifting off of Camille Anthony, and grifting off of pretty much Christianity or anything he could grip on, like any of the new right-wing trends. So that's just a mini summarization on who this guy really is. He's just a piece of shit. He doesn't really matter. Like, his opinions doesn't matter. If you want to get your political opinions, you'd rather get it from Ben Shapiro than the Quartering, okay? At least Ben Shapiro actually believes in what he fucking says, okay? Even if he was like him saying like Israel good or all that type of shit, at least he actually believes in that shit. The Quartering doesn't. But now let's actually get to the content. And let's start with the Mr. Medicare situation. And to give you a little bit of context of why this conversation or even these tweets even exist in the first place, is because Mr. Medicare recently decided to do a stream on Ethan Ralph. If you're not even catching up with that shit, it is actually insane stuff, okay? But you know, but it was a really great stream. No more like political shit. It's actually funny locale stuff. Like, he talked about Ralph, was online, and a bunch of other idiots. Like, he even talked about the person who was swatting him. Like, it was insane. It was a great stream. And after that, Mr. Medicare, finishing off his stream, decided to post this. And Mr. Medicare over here says, "Woo, this stream is packed with info. Quick summary. Ralph Mexican residency is running out. He wants to leech off Hunter Moore in Colombia. Threatened to rape. Threatened violence. Wanted to ambush the Quartering and stalk him. Involved in years worth of Discord doxing and swatting. Broke. Literally poverty tier broke." And the important part about this is the Quartering part of it, because if you do not know what happened during the Ralph drama and the Quartering drama, at the height of the Quartering drama, Ralph decided to get himself involved and attempted to go to the Quartering's house. Okay? He attempted to do that, and he was actually really close to actually do it until like he decides to beat his porn star girlfriend Scarlett. But it did happen, and the Quartering was fully aware. He warned Ralph, saying, if you do that, it's a really bad decision. And when it didn't happen, he called him a pussy, right? So the Quartering was pretty aware of what was happening, right? But the Quartering decided to say this over here, right? After seeing this post from Mr. Medicare. And over here, the Quartering says, "I know everyone hates me or whatever, but I am praying for you and wish the best for you. I don't know what's true or not, but one of my greatest regret is not patching things up with you." And this is kind of a weird thing to say. Not patching things up with you. Like, the argument you guys had like 8 years ago about like you probably trying to flag Mr. Medicare and trying to bait him into it. Like, you want to patch that up? So you accidentally trying to dick ride Mr. Medicare admitted that that was your actual plan, to flag this guy down by sending him super chats. Like, that's what actually happened. And also the Quartering is kind of like insinuating that, but don't worry, let's finish off that tweet. "You have been one of the most consistent people in the history of online bullshit." And you could see it's very obvious that he wants to be friends with Mr. Medicare, because in the beginning of it has nothing to do with what Mr. Medicare was saying. He only mentioned Quartering once, and the Quartering sees this, thinks that Mr. Medicare's on his side. Even if you've seen the stream, if you've seen the super chat part of the stream, it's obvious that Mr. Medicare still doesn't like Quartering, saying he still has the same opinion of him that he had years ago. And if you want to know what that opinion was, that the Quartering is a malicious bastard who's also very fucking boring. He said that to his face during the original debate they had 8 years ago, okay? Like, Mr. Medicare doesn't like you, Quartering. He also fucking hates you. But he believes that because he mentioned him once. And this is very obvious that he wants to be friends with him again. Buddy again. That's why he's dick riding him, saying, I'm praying for you to be better. Even if the quartering literally once, when they were talking about the Bible, they were talking about the Ark of the Covenant. The quartering actually never read the Bible before. And instead of actually mentioning what the Ark of the Covenant really is, he mentioned Indiana Jones. The only thing you knew, isn't that the thing, in the Bible, there was a part in the Bible where it melted your face off or something? This guy knows nothing about the Bible. This guy's not Christian at all. Because if he was, he wouldn't be crashing out like the way he is. He wouldn't be the fucking scumbag that he really fucking is. He wouldn't be like the person he is right now, okay? So he's not a fucking Christian, so shut the fuck up with your fucking LARP. And also the insane glaze on Mr. Medical, okay? This is coming from someone that actually likes Mr. Medical a lot, okay? I actually watch his shit and I like him. But imagine yourself calling Mr. Mediker the most consistent people. He didn't even write it well. He should have said most consistent person in the history of online bullshit. Mr. Mediker is not really that consistent, but nobody really is. Okay, Mr. Mediker in the past had takes of saying oh, if you did pedophile jokes, you're probably a pedophile, and now he defends lolicon. He's not really the most consistent person on online bullshit. Now, can he sniff out bullshit? Yes. But sometimes he doesn't. And sometimes he defends very weird people. Are we forgetting that this guy also defended Ralph during the early era of his fucking downfall? Didn't this guy stay with Dick Masterson for a very long time? Mr. Mediker is not the perfect individual. Everyone fucks up. But calling him the most consistent fucking person in the history of online bullshit is just an insane glaze. Cordry, do you want to suck his dick? Do you want to suck his balls? Are you gay for him or some shit? Are you gonna clean off the ass sweat he leaves off after he leaves his wheelchair and goes to bed to start making his streams? The levels of meat riding the quartering is doing just to finally be buddy with Mr. Mediker is insane. Mr. Mediker ain't gonna fuck you, bro. He ain't impressed by you. He thinks this impresses him, and Mr. Mediker sees this and decides to respond by saying, I'm not sure why Ralph attempts to insert himself, but Scarlett talks about him wanting to go after you and somehow scouting a list of your hangout in town. Also talking about swatting you. Might want to give it a listen. And this is true. The Ralph tried to do this shit. He tried to confront him. He tried to fuck with the quartering because, the quartering drama was at its peak and Ralph wanted to find attention. And the quartering decides to respond, someone that's claiming to have respect for Mr. Mediker now. And the quartering over here says, I had no idea because I was offline. That is very concerning. I'll at least update my local PD. And that's just a complete lie. He was aware of this shit. And when this shit was going down, he was on Twitter. He's pretending he actually deleted Twitter around that time when Ralph was doing that shit. No. He literally did a tweet calling Ralph a fucking pussy. He did that. He told Ralph to be careful. Don't do something you regret. Why is this guy lying all the fucking time? This was literally his perfect opportunity to be a victim. He could have said to Mr. Mediker, yeah, Ralph tried to fuck with my life. Oh, that's how all my detractors are. He could have just said that, even if that's not true either with the detractors. But he could have. But no, he proceeds to lie to Mr. Mediker. He proceeded to do that instead. Shows how much respect he really holds for Mr. Mediker. But don't worry. After this, there are a couple of people he actually talks to in this part of the tweet. In this tweet specifically. There's a couple of people he actually talks to that we will read because the quartering says some pretty interesting stuff. So let's start reading it. And let's start with this guy called Dover Gubbin. And this guy says, I don't hate you. I still watch your channel. This guy's retarded. Here and there. This whole circus really exposed some people, though I stopped following some people because of it. And it's some fucking retard coming in, some dented quartering fan. Quartering fans are not really the most smartest individuals out there. But we go to the quartering sees this and responds to him by saying, it's all part of the game. I get it. It just proved Mr. Motion, Mr. Mediker, 100% right about internet friends. It's been one of the hardest and most consistent proven lessons I've ever learned. Wait a minute. So you had to constantly learn this fucking lesson of not getting internet friends? Wouldn't you learn it in the first one? Do you have to constantly learn and learn again and again? And also, don't worry. Don't forget, this guy still calls, Melanie Mack his fucking friend. And then we get, with the core drink saying that friends. I don't want any internet friends at all, okay? Mr. Medicker's right about like, I gotta be honest with you. First of all, core drink, okay? What about the tweet that you just did? It sounds like you really want to be buddy-buddy with Mr. Medicker. And don't forget, this guy constantly says that Melanie Mack is his best friend and all these other people are his best friends. Like, this guy, this guy has a lot of internet friends. And also, I kind of will get to a rant here, but Mr. Medicker's entire thing was that I don't like internet friends, they're not really trustworthy and all that type of shit. And yeah, he is right. But all the people who decide to replicate and say the same shit, like, yeah, I don't have any internet friends at all, dude. Yeah, I don't have any. I don't go with that crowd. These motherfuckers are always the people with the most amount of internet friends out there. It's just a LARP in the end. Everyone's LARPing. No one actually, goes by it. It's just something that people say that makes them sound really, really cool and really, really smart. But don't worry. His dad decides to say over here, yeah, it seems like it's desperate attempts for views. There's some really deranged streamers and worse viewers. Good God, a lot of them are mutants. And you can see over here the quote, and he says, internet blood sports is such an undeniable portion of my history, and it's still entertaining for a lot of people. I'm just too old and too fat to care as much as some folks. Okay, imagine LARPing as a guy who was part of the blood sports community, okay? Like, first of all, Cordry was never in it. He inserted himself in it and everybody hated him. Nobody liked him. And the only iconic parts of his blood sporting era was when he got destroyed, when he got obliterated by Mr. Medicker. And pretty much Mr. Medicker and Keemstar made him look like a fucking pussy. That is his only iconic moment in the internet blood sports community. Like, you're not that important. When people think of, like, people that were involved in blood sports, it was, like, mostly Andy Worski, Mr. Medicker, and Ethan Ralph. Like, even Ethan Ralph is pretty well known, like, but, like, you were never the face of that fucking community, okay? You were never part of that. And LARPing as an internet blood sports guy now is like LARPing as a fucking... it's like LARPing as an autistic retard. That's how LARPing as a blood sport community member really is, okay? But don't worry. Another guy comes in over here, and this guy's called Minute Man, and he says this, gotta ask, and it's not a gotcha or trick question. Do you really have no idea why everyone hates me or whatever? And you could see he's giving him the question like, are you actually not aware of why people hate you? Like, there's no way you don't know. And the quartering over here responds to him by saying, oh, I know why people are mad, but I choose not to engage. Oh, that's a fucking lie. You engage all the fucking time. You literally had crash outs about this shit. You constantly crash out on your streams about this type of stuff, okay? Like, you cannot be saying, I choose not to engage with it while you still engage with it. And even with this tweet specifically, you're engaging with it. Like, oh yes, it's like when people constantly say, I don't care, while they totally look like they actually care about it. But don't worry, let's continue. Almost none of what people think is actually true. Like, do you really want to challenge that? But I have to stay moving forward. Like, you're not moving forward. I'm not turning my channel into answering for every insane accusation ever made. You have. You turn your streams into that. I've been online for a decade. People know the truth. Yeah, people know the truth that you're a flagged sack of shit. That you flag people constantly. People who actually care about the truth and not drama clicks know the truth. I kind of hate like this thing that all these motherfuckers do when they get themselves in drama, that like drama is bad and like what they're doing is not drama, no matter what. Even if like no matter what you're doing is drama. And quarter, you cannot be shitting on drama content while your entire fucking channel is made up of drama shit. Even if it's political, even if you call it important, it's still drama. So shut the fuck up. But it's kind of funny how you say like you debunked everything, okay? But like everything you have said has been debunked, okay? You never debunked anything. Like, people saw you accidentally leaked that you actually flagged down the casino. People saw you deleted a channel that you did with your friends without their permission to gay up the Kino Casino, trying to make people think that they flagged down that channel, okay? You decided to burn every bridge you had because these people dared to make fun of you or even criticize you. You sexually harassed women on stream in front of their kids, okay? Like, You had DMs with Josh Moon saying that you're going to take away everything the Kino Casino was going to have. You're going to take away their YouTube. You're going to take away their Rumble. You're going to take away the Kick. Okay? No shit. People hate you. Okay? There are a lot of reasons why people dislike you. And it's crazy that this guy will pretend that he doesn't know and that all this shit's not true. But if this shit wasn't totally true, you would have had that debate with Yellow Flash. You would have argued with him, okay, about all this shit. But no, you ran away like a little bitch because you knew all that shit was true. But after this, the Quartering decided to make a long essay coping about his failing, dying company, coffee, brand, coffee. And you know what? Let's read all of it. And it starts over here. I'm so proud of our team, what left, at Coffee Brand Coffee Co. We could have went the cheap max profit route, cringe political branding, mid-tier beans, and a short lifespan. Instead, we went the make no money for years and build an actual apolitical brand route. But it's like, you don't make money at all. I don't get why he's trying to pretend like he didn't make money for like only a couple of years and now they're successful, while he still doesn't make any money and he still begs people to buy his shitty coffee. We're closing in on 4 years in business. I own 100% of the company. Not really, like it's actually drop shipped by somebody else, but okay. Have dozens of staff that make the system go, and now we're on the doorstep of being able to have our products on the shelf at Walmart. Okay, so what we're claiming here is that now that the Coffee Brand Coffee is successful, it's going to be now on Walmart shelf. Bro, you have constantly been saying this for a long while, saying that like, oh, it'll be a Walmart soon, it'll be a Walmart soon. It never does. This is just like something Gordon likes to say to make himself feel like he's actually making something with his pathetic life. But in reality, he's doing nothing. Okay? And we know if it does get to Walmart, right? That I don't think it ever will. It's going to become like, you know those toys that were there for a while? Like, it was like that meme with that black guy doing the hand thing. And like, they had these toys of like, you could make him shatter glass. And like, those were discounted for like 76 cents. That's going to be the Cold Drinks Coffee. It's going to be discounted on the clearance aisle for 76 cents. That's what's actually going to happen, okay? We're dominating Amazon and just put into place a massive new sales channel that is going to help drive down costs via large volumes and finally unlock retail shelf. Yeah, totally. They're dominating on Amazon while it discounts every single coffee there. Like, nobody buys your shitty coffee from Amazon, to be honest with you. Like, if it was totally successful, you wouldn't be discounting any of it for 50%, 75% off. Okay? This is actual bullshit. Yeah, we could have made a lot of cash on liberal tiers blend and stuff like that. Yeah, that would actually make you a lot of money if you were really smart. Like, that's what I would have done if I was a guy called a Quartering, a guy that makes takes talking about how black people are evil. But like, if I was a guy like you, I would do that because it'll make a lot of money. But you're not a businessman. You're a fucking retard, okay? Stuff like that, but the goal was never to simply extract cash from viewers. That's always been the point of every fucking business, you stupid motherfucker. It was to focus on quality, customer service, and consistency. Yeah, consistency in customer service. Well, when people go to your, like, you know, to your website and pay you money to have, like, you know, the subscription and everything, you never deliver on any of it. Yeah, totally. Yeah, you care about your customers. We're about to have ownership in all aspects of fulfillment, dial in our own logistics, and hopefully unlock groceries by fall. We won't make much on the Walmart shelves, but unlocking that volume will open up so many more amazing opportunities. Okay, so you're aware that you will fail with the Walmart venture, but you think you're gonna get a lot of opportunities. Motherfucker, if you are gonna get those opportunities, that shit needs to succeed. You want it to succeed. But if it doesn't, those people that those opportunities will come from will see that it's not successful and will ignore you. What type of retardation are you saying? Yeah, totally, the businessman we're seeing. This guy is the man of business. The coffee market is as saturated and competitive as it gets. That's why making a coffee business is not a good idea. And thanks for the financial support of my viewers, we're unlocking a real opportunity to take this from YouTuber coffee to a legitimate competitor from the likes of Bone Coffee and more. Okay. You genuinely think that your coffee company is a success, while you constantly are begging for money, saying that the coffee company will shut down and that they're not making anything from it, and how you're constantly claiming that when you discount it, you actually make no money from it. Yeah, totally a success, and it'll always be a YouTuber coffee. Okay? It will always be that, Cord Ring, because you're not a good businessman. You're shit at it. I'm so excited for the next 90 days. If things fall right, you'll be able to pick up our products in your local grocery store before the end of the year. That will never happen because this is all just a fucking wet dream for the Cord Ring. I'm so humble and so thankful for all of you. There is zero chance we forced our way into this market, and now we're not just nipping at heels, we're becoming an undeniable force. Not really. You're not even a fucking threat to Nestle. Like, call yourself an undeniable force when Nestle is scared of you. But this is the issue with all of this. He is a failing company, okay? His company is failing. He constantly mentions it on stream. And that if he desires to be like, a successful coffee company and all that, his coffee needs to be special. But the problem is, none of it's special. And there are other brands that are better than his coffee, okay? And also that his own coffee is overpriced. That's why it will never go anywhere. It literally won't. And this dream that he has that it will be on Walmart one day, and one day it will be a successful company, is laughable. It's not going to happen. And if it does happen, I expect it to see clearanced out for 76 cents. That's what I expect. It's bullshit. This is all just lies. This is all just copes. The Cord Ring wants to pretend he's actually a very successful guy with a successful company, while his company is not successful. But he does this because his life is very miserable. He doesn't really live a very happy life. He lives a very miserable life, a very sad life. And that's why he wants to pretend to be this successful guy and all. But yeah, that's the conclusion. The Cord Ring is now his new technique to try to make everything go away. It's just to pretend everything is going away, okay? And that's what's just happening with him. But we're finally at the end of the video, okay? That I hope all of you guys give this video a like. Subscribe to the Mr. Zombie Army. Subscribe, okay? We need to grow. We need to get a lot of subs, okay? Let's get to 100, 300, 1,000. Let's get to those massive numbers, okay? And also, leave a comment. You could say whatever the fuck you want. You could say, hey, Mr. Zombie, you mushmouth piece of shit. The Cord Ring is a successful company, and he's totally not trying to be friends with Mr. Mediker. Or you could say, you know what, the Cord Ring is a desperate piece of shit who is literally on his last legs. You could say whatever the fuck you want. Also follow the Twitter over here if you want it. It's at BBBB370037. You can follow there if you want any updates. And after that, I hope all of you guys have a really great June, a really great summer, and a really great day, and goodbye.